So we will cover basically these two things. One is content editor web part and second is script editor web part. So basically when we will use this web parts is like whenever, I mean, for example, I have a site and I have data. I mean, since this list has, for example, I have a list, I will add few records. Okay, if I have one field or whatever, one column and few items or records, then it is fine in the normal SharePoint list. But sometimes, I mean, we may need to add lots of fields itself. I mean, this is one web part, for example. I have only one text box, so I can add it. I mean, in the out of the box feature itself. I'll just convert this to the classic experience. Okay. See now, I mean, this is the field or whatever control. It's a text box. If I have 1 or 10 fields, it is okay. There is no issue on that. For example, in the project, maybe if it is related to insurance form, I mean, if you submit the insurance form, it contains lots of fields, maybe 50 to 100 controls will be there. So the out of the box form, like this is a out of the box form. New form.aspecs is the out of the box page, and these fields are like directly coming. So I will just add one more field. How we will see how it is adding. Just taking personal group. I'm just taking new item. See here, it is adding the fields. I mean, vertically, one by one. So for example, if I add 100 or 200 controls, so definitely it won't be a good look, or it's not a good modern experience. So people want it in a single, like simplified forms. They need it, like they want to customize the forms sometimes, like they want to add some colors. I mean, here you won't get the colors, so they want to apply some CSS. So these type of things, if we want to add it, then we can go for content editor web part. So one thing is, you can create your own HTML form and make it dynamic. That means form you will create it in HTML, and then I mean, we will take some submit or cancel buttons. When I click on submit, automatically it saves in the SharePoint list here. So we will not use this out of the box forms. And one more thing is, Microsoft deprecated this out of the box forms on May 14th. I mean, last month 14th itself, it was already deprecated, and you cannot create those things in SharePoint Online. I mean, latest versions, not in the old. I mean, you cannot create these forms. So customized forms only we have to use it. So in that situation, we'll go for content editor web part or script editor. Script editor, you can attach directly the scripts. So I assume that both bit knowledge and JavaScript, I mean, so we can directly inject over here. For example, there is a get and set are there. For example, I want to set value here. I'll just show you. I mean, if it is, if you have a jQuery, I mean, I will add that. We'll take this and set value here. I can set value here whenever I load the page itself, or I mean, when any event changes, those things we can do it. So finally, I mean, there is no, I mean, basically in the real time, we will prefer content editor web part. The reason is the related files, whatever HTML or JS file or CSS files, we will keep it in site assets. Script editor directly write code in page itself. That means you will take the web part here, you have to write it here. Maybe I'll just take content editor web part first, and I'll just write some HTML and apply some CSS, JavaScript. And in real time, I mean, whenever we are in the project, like how we will save that, how to refer those, we'll see that. So as I told you in content editor web part, we need basic things. Maybe you have to import or whatever, refer jQuery. We will use these things. Till now, I mean, these are all theoretical part. Any doubts till now?
So which is more beneficial, using custom editor web part or the script editor web part?
Content editor web part. The reason is, I mean, you are asking advantage, right?
Yes.
It is reusable.
Okay.
That means I have HTML here. Generally, how we will refer JS, CSS, jQuery, right?
Okay.
I mean, within the HTML, we have to refer there in HTML.
Okay.
It's available in site assets library. So in one page, for example, in this page, I will add this HTML page. Okay. I will go to another page, test2 page. I can add the same HTML over there. If it is requirement is there in the same page, I can add that. But if we go to script editor, I have to copy the entire code in the page. I cannot refer that. Reference is different, and entire copying the code is different. That means you are not reusing. You are creating one more file again. So advantage is in content editor. You got my point? Or?
Okay, so in what scenarios do we have to use script editor?
Script editor generally, yes. I mean, if it is very simple, I mean, one or two fields are there. I don't want to. I mean, it won't be reusable some places. For example, like I have a form, maybe survey form, and the entire organization. I mean, based on the department, you are applying some CSS. We are not going to reuse over there. Then we'll go for script editor. One more problem here is, I can say cons. If I migrate 2013 to 2016 or SP Online, for example, I mean, we generally migrate, right? Application, SharePoint. If I migrate from one version to another version, this script editor code, it won't copy because the code is, I mean, added in the page itself, within the page.
Okay.
Not in the HTML file. I mean, if it is file, any tool like ShareGate tool or other tools, third-party tools, it will copy the files like HTML, JS, CSS. Script editor, it is just merged in the, I mean, code is merged directly in the page, right? So it won't be able to copy from one environment to another environment.
Okay.
So it is issue in the script editor. So we have to like check whether, I mean, if it is if there is any plan in the migration, then don't use script editor, because in our previous one of the application we have done it. So in that application, like we have faced these issues.
Okay.
So any other queries?
Not from my side.
Okay. Sangeeta, any questions? Able to understand or? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, Sangeeta, any questions? Or?
No. I don't
Okay.
have any question.
Okay. I'm just taking Visual Studio Code. I'm just creating a new file. These are all just simple HTML. And first we will go for we'll move to dynamically later once it is done. Okay, I just took some HTML file. I'm saving. Okay, so it's an HTML file. So let me add this HTML file in SharePoint. I have site assets here. I'm creating one folder. Okay, so here is my HTML. I am preparing the path. How I am taking is just simple site, and pre-sales is my subsite, site assets is my library. Then I have a folder within the site assets. I have a folder REST API.
Okay.
Within the REST API, I have a file name called display data from Okay, this is my path. And some people, they'll take the copy here. You can take the copy link. I'll show you how it is coming. I mean, as a developer, we should be, anyhow, we are giving single time, right? So we should be able to understand this path. Even it works. So for a 2013 and classic, this is the way of taking the path. Are you able to understand, how to take the path?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Sangeeta,
Yeah.
which is more advisable, like call it,
for a
complete the
classic,
path
this is
ourselves,
for
or
classic, like 2013 till 2013, this is the best way.
okay,
After 2013, like 2016, 19, and SharePoint Online, this is the way. But I will prefer even in the online this way, because the reason is I am able to understand. If sometimes when we are working in production, if I see here, I don't understand. This is the GUIDs, everything was merged. So as a developer, we should understand what exactly right. So what is happening? So if you see here, I can, okay, this is the file name and here is the path. I can directly understand.
okay, sure.
It is your wish. This is a simple way.
But both will work, right? Both the links will work.
Both works, no problem.
Okay, sure.
Just taking this path. Prefer, since you are classic experience, I am just making everything in classic. Okay. So I'll create a simple web part page. New web part page. I'm going to site page, web part page. I'll give the name display data list. Taking the full page template. It is your wish, whatever the template. I'll save this in site pages itself. This page will save in site pages. If you give site assets or documents, the page will saves in the selected location. So I'll prefer the pages, all the pages will be in the same location. So I'll go to site pages. I'll take site. I'm just creating. Okay. So here I will add content editor web part. Add a web part. How to add content editor web part is, if you observe here, there are many categories. Many are there out of the box, and so here is the media and content. So you will see both like script editor and content editor. So I'll take content editor web part and add it. Okay. So how to give the path is, just go to here, drop down the web part property menu, click on edit web part, and I have my path. So taking it and click OK. So I have to stop editing. Then we can see the data. So reusability concept, I'll again create the another page, another web part page. Just creating the same thing. This is another page, completely different page. Going back to the same media content, adding it. edit web part. So you observe here, I mean single file, but I am reusing it in different pages. Hope you are clear on the
Yes.
process. I mean, I'm not asking about the logic because we didn't discuss about dynamic things like how to retrieve the data from the different lists or how to create the forms. Those things we didn't, but I just want to be very clear that because where we are storing the files, I mean, generally the best process is in the site assets. If you are working on some web part like news, just create a folder. How generally the people will like best practice is create JavaScript, I mean structure, create CSS, all the jQuery and common JS files will keep it here. All the CSS common CSS files will keep it here. If anyone has .NET experience, like we will use like business logic layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those like that is the structure of your what you can say like the architecture.
Yes.
Yeah, in the same way, like we will keep it here, all the CSS, all the JS files, and if the requirement is like I mean I'm just giving REST API, but here we'll keep it news and HTML. This HTML related JS file will keep it here. I'll use jQuery. So jQuery, take this in the content editor web part. I'll take later CSS. I'm saving in my local. Okay. So if you observe here, I'm in site assets. jQuery is a common library, correct? So I'll keep it in. So I have to prepare the path. So inside Java, when my folder name is JavaScript, and within that jQuery hyphen 3.5.1. Okay, here is my path. So I'll give generally JS files will keep it in header, right? Type equal to text by JavaScript. Is it clear? I mean this path reference.
Yes.
Okay. Vineet. Hello. Vineet. Vineet, I think you are on mute.
Yeah, it's clear. Can you hear
Okay.
me now?
Yes. Okay. So I just gave the jQuery reference. Okay.
Okay.
When initially I was uploaded in the common JS file, because whatever the common third-party JS related files, we will keep it in JavaScript folder.
Run.
Okay. And okay. And later, if you want your own JS file, I mean, we have to attach our own file, right? So let me create the first. I'll save the file because you will get the intelligence. Sound guns. TV sound guns. Okay. So I am just taking the JS file. Explain this. If you observe here, I mean, generally ready function, I mean, whenever we load the page, it triggers this event. So it's a function, and within that I just gave alert. So I'm not directly talking about logics or whatever. I'm just giving the paths, how we are giving the paths. So jQuery I gave it, and later I have to give my own JS file. So for that, so I'll uploading JS file here. And after site assets, sorry, REST API and data from list. So it is JS file, so I just give the path. So I'm saving both HTML and JS file. Since I have changed both, I'm uploading it to REST API. So you have to replace it if it is already exist. So if you observe here in the HTML, I mean, this is the HTML file, and I gave the jQuery path, and also gave my customized JS file, my own file, and everything is located in site assets in different locations. Like within the site assets, my HTML and JS related everything in this folder. My jQuery is placed in JavaScript folder. So we have to refer in main HTML file. So let us refresh the page. See here, test is appearing. I mean, Again, you don't need to go to edit page and give the path. So already we gave the path, right? So for this content editor web part edit page, we gave it here. So we don't need to replace again with the same path. If you change the HTML path, like this HTML path, you have to go to edit page, edit web part, and give the path. Otherwise, not required. Is it clear, guys? I mean, I'm saying about where we are locating the HTML, JS, jQuery, CSS. We'll see it after this. I mean, if you don't have any questions or doubts.
No, I don't have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear from my side as well.
Okay. So I'll just add simple CSS. Okay. As of now, this is empty. Taking new file, saving initially, and taking CSS. I mean, generally, if it is common, right? So if your project name is like Reliance, then Reliance styles. Okay. Then write some CSS. I'm just assuming that you have basic knowledge on CSS, like when we need to take dot, I mean that is for class, ID, hash, and tags basis. I mean directly tag name. Any idea, or
Yeah.
if Sangeeta, you are aware of it?
Yeah, I know.
Vineet,
I'm aware of it, but it was like long time back, so I think I need to revisit all those concepts in
Okay.
CSS. Yeah.
Okay, it's very simple. I'll just review it. So I'm just writing here anyhow. For example, I have a div tag. Okay, I want to write. I mean, since div, if the div tag is common for entire, I mean the CSS is common for entire application or entire form, then I'll directly, I mean, if since it is div tag, right, I can take directly div here. No need to write anything. Div. Maybe background color. And I'll write, I mean, we'll see it later, properties. Sometimes in the HTML itself, I have ID. I want to apply the CSS based on the ID. Okay, not the tag basis. So I'll take the ID, I'll come here. If it is ID, I have to use hash. I mean, symbol for ID is hash. Use it. So T is WhatsApp. So I'm just, I mean, here the concept is if it is ID, we will use hash. After that, take the ID, div contain, and paste it. So automatically this CSS will apply, I mean, The background color teal will apply to this ID. This ID is available in HTML. I mean, within the HTML, this div. I'll take one more paragraph maybe for seeing the difference. Okay. I'll take one more ID. P1. So here is the ID is P1. I'll go to CSS. So since it is ID, I want to apply for this ID. So P1. Within that, I'll apply. So we just seen that if it is ID, just take hash, and after that you have to give your ID. You. Class will write it in this way. Div CLS1. So if we apply class, if you want to apply based on, if you want to apply styles based on the class, just write dot. Since it is class, you have to use dot and your class name. Okay. My class name is div CLS1. Since it is class, I gave dot, then my class name. So, we can create the CSS file in this way based on your requirement. Vinith, any doubt?
No, no doubt.
Okay. So I have to give the reference in HTML. As I told you, whatever you are using, third party or your customized things, you have to refer in HTML. So for what we'll call one second, I'm just having water. Okay, so when my CSS is ready, I just need to give the reference, CSS reference in HTML. So first I have to upload the CSS in my site assets. Okay, so these my styles I'm uploading here. So I have to take the path. Anyhow, it is already there. So site assets, then CSS, then line styles.css. Okay, I'm ready with my path. Here you have to take, since it is CSS, you have to give the link. When relationship is style sheet, relationship with style sheet, and you have to give the reference. My reference is my path. So this is how you will give the, link up CSS with HTML. So again, I have to upload my HTML because I have added the link, CSS reference. So going back to REST API, uploading HTML. So coming here, just refreshing, and it is applied my CSS. So this is the first div. If you observe here, background color violet, whatever I have applied entire thing, divs. So I'll explain that div. I'll come back. So second one is teal color. Only this, based on this ID, we have applied. This is one more ID, and this is the class. So we have applied for only this web part, right? You can think that why it is why it is applied for the entire page, like left navigation, top, and everything. The reason behind this is I gave directly based on the tag. So if you observe here, I'll go to inspect. This is a tag, div tag. So wherever the div tags are there, automatically my CSS was applied, violet color applied in the form. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, clear.
So that's why generally we will use, we'll use ID and class basis. Reason behind is, maybe today it is okay. Based on the tag, it may work. But tomorrow, for example, if I left from the organization and the new employee will join with replacing with mine. So we will, we'll transform the, we'll give the transition, like whatever the code and all, but we may not give the, like, simple things like this is a tag, we cannot give it. So if he will write something and automatically this will apply. So better, the best practice is apply the CSS with ID and class, so that we can track it directly.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm just removing it. Again, I'm just showing, if something was changed, then how to do that. So my CSS was updated, so I'm just replacing. So here one more problem is, sometimes this CSS or whatever JS files, it won't reflect in the actual page.
Okay.
So that's, I think you have observed that, in the first refresh, it was not updated. Correct? My violet was still applied. Second refresh, it was happening. In that situation, what you have to do is, sometimes in the production, it won't appear. So you just go to CSS, whatever the file location, click on that, just refresh here. Okay, maybe I'll show it again because this is the real time scenario, you will see that. Saving, again replaced, yellow to green yellow. I just updated. See here, I was replaced, but
Yes.
my code was previous code only. So what I'm saying is, we don't need to worry about it. This is a system or caching issue. Sometimes, like, as we are developers, right, continuously we will update. So some session or caching and application issues or browser issues, it may come up. So just refresh here. See, now it is updated. Okay, clear this point.
Yes.
I'm just refreshing now. Okay. Changed, color was changed. So I will show you how to do the same thing with script editor. Okay. I'll just take new file. My HTML, I'll take it like this. I'm going to do it for script editor, not the content editor. Removing everything. So I can write directly here. Within the document already. Okay. If I want to apply CSS styles, within the style I can write all my CSS. Okay. Everything I have placed it. Taking the copy, I have to give the reference jQuery. Taking the entire copy, I'll create one new page for our understanding. Sorry. Let me create the web part page. Editor, edit account. Saving in site pages, create. Add a web part. Media and content. I'll take script editor. Okay, add it. Here you can see edit snippet. Directly write it. Insert and stop it. So the change is like sometimes if you want to edit something, I mean, just go to edit page. If you want to change the code, right, directly you can see it here. I'll show it here instead of teal. I'll give blue. See, I mean, I'm not doing anything. Instead of tomato or yellow, just click here outside of that box. You will you can see the difference here. And instead of alert, console.log. So directly you will write the code here and you can see the difference, if any, CSS or normal things. Insert, stop waiting. Now you are not getting alert. So I can, if I want to reuse the same code, how to do it? Just go to edit page, edit snippet, select all, copy it, then create new page and copy the same code over there. It is like maybe if you have knowledge on .NET, like ASPX pages, ActiveX server pages, how we have done, like all the things will keep it in the single page. Single page means single .cs file.
Yes.
We cannot reuse it. But if you write like business logic layer, common CS file will be there, and we will inherit that CS file and reuse it over there. That means one file, maybe multiple methods will be there and reuse it. Here also same thing. Everything is separated, segregated, completely, like it is not clumsy even. If you observe here, if you want to write, if you want to check CSS, just you need to check the path, open here, and only CSS is available. All the JS is available here. Entire HTML is available here and merged. Is it clear or?
Yes,
have you
from my
observed the
side,
difference?
it's
Yeah,
yes.
Difference, you got it right. So whatever I said, if you want to dynamically and reusability, everything is suitable for content editor. Code is completely segregated, separated. Any other doubts or?
No.
No.
Okay. So we can add multiple web parts in the same page. If you want, like add a web part, and we have multiple web parts. So maybe out of the box web parts within the same page. Like, for example, I want to add test list. Here, like. So generally, we don't do it. Some people like they'll make it like they will add it here like that. So I'll just add my customized CSS to the entire page. One more thing I'll do. The task is like this is a common thing in our SharePoint. That is, if you observe here, this left navigation is available in the web part. The customer will tell you like I don't want the left navigation, or we'll call it as quick launch. Correct? There is a quick launch. You got my requirement? Like I don't want to show this in my
Yeah.
page. I mean this page. This is my content editor web part.
Yeah.
But customer will ask like, okay, everything is fine, but this is not required to the my page. Okay. I want to show like how to just how to apply CSS dynamically. Like maybe you might have heard about developer tool.
Yeah.
How to use more tools and developer tools. Another way is just right click here, click on inspect. Anything is fine. So I don't want this, right? So just take the element, whatever you want. So this is the side navigation box. Everything is selected if you observe here. If I select side navigation box,
Yes.
I can directly apply here the style. I don't want it, right? So display none. Okay. You got my point. So
Yeah.
this side nav box is out of the box feature. I mean, this was not developed by me. It was given by SharePoint. I mean, by default, I mean, they gave the side navigation box, or we'll call it as quick launch. So, but I don't want it, right? So how to apply that CSS to the side navigation box? So I know my ID, side nav box. Okay. Then I'll go to my CSS. Since it is ID, I'll take ash. My ID name is side nav box. I have tested that display none is working. Okay. This is one thing. Second part. I mean, customer will ask like, I don't want, I mean, keep it here. I'll just move this to here. I mean, this is empty, right? So they will ask like move just a little bit left side instead of taking this much space. They will ask you to move to left hand side. So just go back to inspect again. So this is actually a content box. We call it as content box. I'll tell you to take it. Yeah, see here. It is completely segregated. This part is different. See, blue color selected is content box. So take this ID, First, I'll apply here dynamically. Maybe margin left I'll take, as I want to move to left side. Maybe margin I'll give 5 pixel. Give 10 pixel. So I'm taking the ID, content box ID again. If you observe here, this is the ID. Again, it is a default out of the box ID. Then I'll use margin left 10 pixel. Saving here. So tell me, I mean, which one I have to update it in my site assets. I'm refreshing. Everything is clear now. I mean, quick launch is available. So I have updated only CSS, right? So just update CSS, replace. HTML, JS, everything is same. Refreshing the page. As I told you, it is not working. Reason is code was not updated. See here. I have added actually 2 more IDs. So just refresh it. It works. Go back to the place, refresh. Okay, it's a timed out issue. Still doesn't work, then use Control F5. There is a known issue, don't worry. I mean, how to check whether the CSS is updated in this file? Go to sources, site asset, oh sorry. There is no CSS. Oh, this is script editor file, sorry. I have to take my content editor page. See now, I mean, quick launch was hidden and everything is working now. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So we have to apply the CSS sometimes to the out of the, I mean, we have to override the existing CSS. Correct, based on the ID or class, whatever.
Yeah.
So JS file, HTML, CSS, 3 things will continuously will work. Maybe tomorrow I will take one new concept like REST API or JSON, whatever. Dynamically we will display the data or whatever. Any queries till now?
Not from my side.
Topic is completed. I mean, base topic. This is basic.
Yeah, I had one question. Like, what are the most frequently used web part in SharePoint Online or SharePoint environment besides these two?
As I told you, content editor web.
Besides content editor web part and script editor web part, which are web parts are in frequent usage?
This only, content editor.
Okay,
For customization, we will use only these two. Out of that, this is the best one.
Okay, and can we create our own custom web part?
Yes.
I mean, we were using the by default functionality provided by the SharePoint, but if we want to create custom web part, let's say using Visual Studio and all, so can we do that? Can we achieve that in our environment here?
Yeah, we can develop the web parts. I mean, you are saying that. I mean, I didn't get.
What I mean is, will we develop our own custom web part in the next classes, like using Visual Studio and all? Like we make web parts using Visual Studio and then we deploy it. So will we be doing that?
Since it is 2013, I mean, everything
Okay.
will develop in the client side itself. Client side means
Okay.
HTML, JS, CSS, everything. These are the files will use it. Okay. So custom web part means your meaning. I mean, what exactly your meaning?
Say in 2010, custom web part meant that we open the Visual Studio, we add a new web
Visual
part, and
Studio
then we
web
make our own.
parts.
Yes, Visual
Correct.
Studio web part.
Visual Studio web parts and all. So finally, I mean, I have worked on 2007 and 2010. So what I'm saying is, maybe I'll just explain that. If you go back to 2007 or 20, we will create visual web parts, correct?
Yes, yes.
Visual web parts, or sometimes they will use user controls and reuse it in visual web part, correct? So these are all the server side code. So if it is server side code, we have to deploy, then again you have to activate the features, correct? Here manage site features, activate, then it comes up in the add web part.
Yes.
So in the, where is that? Yeah, if you go back to edit page, in add web part, you will see here, like there is a custom folder will be there, category. Within that custom, you will see your own visual web part, correct? But in the client side, I mean, finally, the purpose of visual web part and user controls is maybe displaying data, creating record, correct, or edit or update. I mean, only CRUD operations, right? Finally, but same operations.
Yes.
We will use the client side, whatever JS and CSS, HTML, and this is the common web part.
Yes.
And you'll just give the reference of HTML finally here. Whatever you are achieving over there, you are achieving through content editor web part. But here you don't need to deploy or something like activate the features. We are just directly injecting the HTML and the JavaScript and CSS files.
Okay.
So they gave the template. We'll call it as template as content editor web part. Within the template, we'll just refer our code, whatever the files. Because of this client side coding, and now in the SharePoint Online, they made it, I mean, everything moved to responsive and all like modern pages. I'll show you maybe one of the online site. See here, I'm just opening. By default, this is responsive. You know, it became carousel now. If I open, this is not carousel actually. Got it. So this is not possible with server-side coding. It is possible only with open source and client-side coding.
Could you show the carousel?
Top. See here, carousel.
Actually, I'm seeing the notepad file. I can't see the carousel.
Oh, is it? I'm just stopping my sharing, and again I'll share again. Can you see now?
Not yet.
No. Yeah, right now.
And here, learn how to use the hero web part.
Yeah, I can see. So where is the carousel here? What part is carousel?
No, not notepad. I mean, see here. I'm just rotating the images, right?
Okay.
This is the carousel. Learn more about communication site. Can you see this blue color background and
Yes.
Vinith?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So I'm just maximizing my browser. This is everything is separated actually. This is not carousel actually.
Okay.
But if I go to mobile or tablet, whatever, it changes like this because of responsiveness, default responsiveness. So through client side coding, it is possible because everything, I mean, client side means we can handle it in the browser itself. I mean, client side, server side, it
Okay.
is not. I mean, we had faced lots of issues in the server side coding. So maybe, I mean, in future we'll see it. I mean, how to develop all those things. But I am just giving the example. If it is news, I mean, it changes one by one. It is coming. I'll show you my web part. See it now. It is not responsive.
I can only see the communication site now. I can't see anything else.
Oh, where exactly the problem? Maybe is it low bandwidth?
I can see your screen.
And my bandwidth is also high. Vinith, can you see content editor web part 1 green red color and
Yes, now I can see.
okay. If you observe here, I am scrolling horizontally. Correct? It is not responsive. It is not fit to the window. Correct?
Yes.
So we can achieve it here also. I mean, maybe bootstrap and all. We'll see that also. I mean, once we'll move to the actual data part, dynamic part, we will achieve it through bootstrap. So these are the challenges generally. I mean, device challenges and browser compatibility challenges. We will learn over there. I mean, next topics we'll see that. Okay. Vinith, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, today's class is over, but Sangeeta, I mean, if nothing is there, I mean, you can drop.
Okay.
I have some, I mean, I have to grant some permissions for him. Vinith. I will
Okay.
wait for,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Vinith, can you check whether you are able to access stream? I mean, how to access is just go to SPFX site, whatever I gave the URL, right?
Okay.
I mean, last Friday I gave the URL, right? SharePoint site URL.
Yes, I'll just check. So have you uploaded that into in the SharePoint developer training page?
No, I mean, first initially, can you